Shalom, shalom. Israel's brother Abba Yallah, brother Abba Iran. I'm back with another cold cut. I'd like to give our praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, right? Hey, we like to hop straight into this. Hey, we're going to go into the withering fig tree, the parables of Yahweh Shah, right? And what does it mean to be a withering fig tree? What does it mean to be a tree? What does it mean to produce fruits, man? Right? So let's hop straight into this, man. I'm going to Matthew chapter 21, and I'm going to start at verse 19. All right? I'm going to start at verse 18. It's Matthew chapter 21 and verse 18. Now in the morning, as he returned into the city, he hungered, right? So the Lord got hungry, right? What? And it says, and when he saw a fig tree in the way, he came to it and found nothing thereon, but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. And presently the fig tree withered away. So what's the leaves, man? Right, let me go to Psalm chapter 1 and 1 real quick. All right, what is the leaves? Because he only found leaves on this man, right? It's Psalm chapter 1 and verse 1. I'll start at verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever you do it shall prosper. So your leaf and your fruit are two different things, man. Hey, this man is compared to as a tree, right? Hey, your leaf is your knowledge, right? The understanding that you have, right? But at the end of the day, this man, he only had knowledge and understanding, but he had no fruit, right? Let me get one more precept. I'm going to Sirach chapter 19, all right? I'm going to Sirach chapter 19. Because yeah, you can have all that knowledge in the world, but if you don't have any fruit, then that's null and void, man. That doesn't matter, right? It's Sirach chapter 19, and I'm gonna start at verse 24. He that have small knowledge, he that have small understanding and fear of the Most High, is better than one that have much wisdom and transgresseth the law of the Most High. So it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have. It doesn't matter how much knowledge you possess, man. Right? If you can go into deep prophecies and breakdowns and things like that, if you don't have any fruit, it doesn't matter, man. Right? If you don't keep the law, statute, commandments, and you transgressing the laws, that doesn't matter at the end of the day. Right? So now we just read, hey, guess what? Tree is man. Right? You got any precepts on tree be man?
Tree be man. Actually, let's go to this book real quick.
I don't want
to. Like, what was it? What was it? Zechariah?
Because you got to understand something, man. You got to have knowledge. That's your leaf, but you also got to have the fruits, which represents your works, man. All right.
Let's get this precept in Romans real quick. Romans chapter 2, let's say verse 6. Because at the end of the day, you could have all the faith, but if you don't have the word, the faith is pointless. And we had to know everybody is going to basically reap what they sow. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 6. And it reads, let's actually start at verse 5 to get a better understanding. But after thy hardness and impenitent heart treasurers up unto themselves wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of the Most High, who will render to every man according to his deeds. So everyone will know you're going to get judged based off the things that you do, right? And the things that you do is not just having faith, it's based on the fruits that you bring. That's why when you go back to the book of Matthew, chapter 21, right? Let's go there real quick. Because a lot of people think you just need to have the faith in the Most High and just believe and that's it. No, the works is very essential. Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. Let's go there real quick. And Matthew chapter 17, verse 20, and it reads, And Yahweh Shai said unto them, Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. Right? Verse 21, Howbeit this kind goeth not out by prayer by prayer and fasting. So the most Yahweh Shai is basically saying that we got faith as the damn near as a must the grain of a mustard seed. You know how small it is? It's like super small, but it becomes the biggest tree. So I'm saying, so you definitely need the faith, but faith without works is dead. Tell you that in James, right? But ultimately, like we gotta make sure that we acknowledge that the things that we sow, the reading, the fasting, the praying, and the exhortation, all of these things is fruits, right?
That's right. Hey, and you gotta have these fruits, man. I mean, man is a tree at the end of the day. If you're a tree and you don't bear any fruit, what are you doing, man? Right? This Psalms chapter 24 and 14. I was exalted like a palm tree in Gadi, and as a rose plant in Jericho, as a fair olive tree, in pleasant Richard, Slakia, in pleasant field, and grew up as a plant tree by the water. So as a tree, first of all, you need to be planted by the waters. What is the waters? Ephesians 5:26, Psalms 119 and verse 9. That's the words of the Lord. You need to be planted in the words of the Lord. You have people that go days without reading. Brother, your tree about to dry up, man. Your leaf is about to fall off the trees, meaning your understanding is about to start to fail, right? And then your fruits are not going to be there. Your fruits are going to start to be rotten. When your house shot gets hungry, he gonna spit that fruit out, man. Right? Hey, it says in Psalm chapter 91, like I said, being planted by the tree, being planted by the waters, but you gotta have that fruit to grow, man. You gotta have that stuff. You gotta have that to grow. Let me go to the book of Psalms 92 and 12. Let's get another witness. This is Psalm chapter 92 and verse 12. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree, and he shall grow up like a cedar in Lebanon. Those that be planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our garden. So you got to be planted in the house of the Lord. This is the house of the. These are the chambers, as it says in Song of Solomon, man, 8th chapter. These are the chambers. This is your mother's house. You got to be planted in this house. You got to be rooted in this house, in these waters, man, so you can grow in knowledge and wisdom and understanding, man. Right, let's go to the book of, you already brought up Matthew 7, right? Con, let me go to the book of Psalm,
Actually, Slock, bring that up.
Con, I'm going to Matthew 7. Con, all right? Because now we know that man is a tree, the waters is the word, these chambers is this house. Now, what does these fruits represent, man? Let me go to Matthew chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 17. Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. So guess what? A good tree gonna bring forth good fruit. If you're a good tree, you planted by the rivers of water, your works are gonna be good, man. You're gonna start producing righteous works. But an evil tree is not gonna produce any righteous works. Verse 18, a good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Read that again. Every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit, meaning if you a man and you not bring forth righteous works, what is going to happen? Is cut down and cast into the fire. You will be cast into that fire, man. I mean, what do they do on a physical level? You know, you be outside, you see the big trucks, and they put it's a cutters, and they start cutting the damn tree down, or they start, and then guess what? With the extra remaining branches, they burn it, and you see smoke in the air, man. The Lord said He will burn you alive if you're not bringing forth righteous works. You an Israelite in this truth. You don't read, and you got a woman. You don't teach your woman. She read the book of Enoch in the bathroom at night, and you don't go to camp, right? You don't go to camp. You type on Facebook all day, right? Debating with all you know is Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68 and then verse 15. That's the only two precepts you know. You're not bringing forth righteous fruit. The Lord is going to kill you, man. Right? Or you have much understanding and knowledge and wisdom, but you retain it to yourself. Let me go to the book of Job, chapter 30, Job, chapter 15. You can't retain this information to yourself. You can't hide your Bible, man. You can't be doing that, man. If you got a wisdom is known as known by much fair speaking, Sirach the 4 and verse 24, man. Right? This is Job chapter 15 and verse 8. Hast thou heard the secret of God? Right? Have you heard the secret of God? You heard about these knowledge. You heard about the knowledge. You heard about the wisdom. Right? You heard about the secrets. You heard about man being trees and fruits being works and waters being the word, being plants. You heard about these different things. You heard about the destruction. You heard about the prophecy. You heard about our people in the scriptures. But what? And doest thou restrain wisdom to thyself? You can't hold on to this wisdom for your own personal good. What is it good that you're the only Israelite in the world that knows this information, and none of your brothers are, and all your brothers are starving? What they say in the world? Everybody got to eat, B. Everybody got to eat, man. If you got 10 apples and you got nine other brothers, brother, this what you do. This is wisdom. Give the other nine to the other nine brothers, and they're gonna be happy and they're gonna be willing to help you out. Right? Don't retain all 10 to yourself, and your brothers out there starving spiritually, right? Asking for a crumb. That's off, man. The Lord's gonna kill you. All right? You got anything?
Con, and talking about these things, you can actually go to the book of Psalms, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, everything is written for a learning based on whatever you're going through. Let's actually go to the first chapter, Psalms chapter 1, verse verse 1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." Verse 2 is the point. "But his delight is in the law of the Most High, and his law doeth he meditate day and night." Verse 3, "And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water." So if you constantly meditate on the law, statutes, and commandments and the will of the Heavenly Father, you're going to be like a tree that's planted by the rivers of water, right? That bringeth forth its fruits in the season. So now your trees is planted and it's blossoming, it's bringing forth fruits, right? Righteous fruits in the season. His leaves also shall not wither. So you're not going to get confounded,
All right.
right? You're never going to get confounded, right? And whatsoever you do it shall prosper. So anything you put your hand to do, the Most High is going to make it prosper, right? So if you always focus and meditating in the law, statutes, and commandments day and night of the Most High, you're going to be like a tree that's planted by the river. Because the tree needs water, right? And if it's planted by the river, it's always going to be um bringing forth fruits through no matter if it's summer or winter, right? And it's never going to wither because it's going to prosper because the Most High is dealing with you,
Right, right.
right?
Luke chapter 13, verse 3. Right? That's exactly right. He's gonna show the most high is dealing with you. And everybody gonna know, hey, the Lord is with him, man. And then didn't they say that to David, man? Right? They said, damn, the Lord is with this man, man.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, this is the book of Luke chapter 13, verse 6. He spake also this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, right? So this man had his fig tree planted in his vineyard, right? And now we know that this tree represents man, right? And it says, and he came and sought fruit thereon and found none, just like Matthew 21. This man tried to seek fruit, but he didn't find any fruit, right? And it says, there said he unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree and found none. Cut it down, why it cometh to the ground. So this man walking in his vineyard is the Most High, and the dresser is Yahweh Shah, right? And it says, he said, hey, cut this man down. These 3 years, and the Most High may not give you 3 years. The Most High may give you 2 months. The Most High may give you 5 years, 10 years, according to the grace and mercy of the Lord that He has for this particular servant. Huh? But these 3 years, three represents completion. He didn't find no fruit. 1 year, the man was slacking. The second year, man was slacking. Third year, man was slacking. Lord said, cut him down. Now, read on. Verse 7. Then he said unto the dresser of his vineyard, behold, these 3 years I come seeking fruit on this fig tree and found none. Cut it down. Why cumbereth the ground? And he answered and said unto him, Lord, let it alone this year also till I shall dig it about and dung it. So the dresser is Yahweh Shah. He's pleading on this tree's behalf. He said, hold on, Lord. Give it one more year. I'm gonna dig a hole about it, and we're gonna put some more water, and let's let this man have one more chance, right? That's what the Lord's job is in the heavens, man. He's cumbereth on your. He's the Lord wants to cut you down with another angel, and Yahweh says, "No, hold on, Lord, please, just let this man get one more chance. Let this man try one more time." But what happened? Verse 9, and if it bear fruit, well, and if not, then after that thou shalt cut it down. So the Lord said, look, if he does well, okay, keep it. If not, he's negotiating. If he does well, keep it. If not, then cut it down, Lord. Just give him one more chance. Guess what? You don't know how many chances you got in this thing. You don't know when the Lord's coming and pop up on you. Your 3 years may be 2 days. You've been in the truth for 2 days, and the Lord already expects you to bring forth fruit because your expectation is higher than other individuals, man. And if you don't bring forth fruit, the Lord gonna cut you down. We don't, and the Lord doesn't do this for everybody, man. The Lord's not pleading on everybody's behalf. Let's go back to Matthew 21. Now let's see if the Lord pleaded on this man's behalf not to be cut down. Well, I'm gonna go back to Matthew 21. All right, this is Matthew 21, and I'm gonna start at verse 19. And he saw a fig tree in the way, and came to it and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said unto it, let no fruit grow on thee henceforth forever. The Lord said this man would never be able to bear fruit forever. Hold on, what happened to let this man have one more year also? Let this man have one more year. His mercy wasn't like the other tree's mercy. His mercy was, you're gonna never bear fruit again. The other tree, let him get one more year and get himself right. So you don't know what the Most High has planned for you. And you want to be prepared for the Most High to come to you in his fine fruit. That's all you want to be prepared for, right? Because guess what? If you're not prepared, you don't know if the Lord gonna give you that grace and mercy, like that other tree in Luke chapter 13 and Matthew chapter 21. This man was never allowed to bear fruit forever, right? And it says, and presently the fig tree withered away. Presently, meaning it didn't happen 2 years from now. It didn't happen a day from now. It happened right before your eyes, man. This man's understanding started to fail. He took off his fringes right then and there. He went right back into the world, right? He started doing all the other lewd things, man, that he know he's not supposed to be doing. And guess what? What the disciples say, verse 20. And when the disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, how soon is the fig tree withered away? They marveled. They was astonished how fast that tree withered away. How fast that tree just went its way, man. They marveled, man. And the Lord said, hey, the Lord said, I can do this thing quickly, man. It don't take that long for me to take the Holy Spirit away from you. No man has power in that day to retain the Spirit, man. Let me go to Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Huh? Okay, you got it?
And I add verse chapter 2, but
I'm gonna get Ecclesiastes chapter 8. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 8. There is no man that have power over the spirit to retain the spirit. So if the Most High wants your tree to wither away, there is no I'm taking more root in the ground. The Lord is gonna grab you up, man. Right? And it says, neither have the power in the day of death, and there is no discharge in that war. There is no drawing a weapon against the Most High in that war. There is no standoff against the Lord in that war. You trying to play tug of war with your spirit. That doesn't exist. Once the Most High wants your understanding, he can take it by night. He can take it on his live, right? On his just like on this video. He can take it while you're watching this video. He can take it when you're walking down the stairs. You don't know, man. Don't play with the Most High, right? And it says, neither shall wickedness deliver those that are given to it, man. So the Lord can take his spirit at any other time. It doesn't matter. So if the Lord comes to you, and the Lord may be hungry right now, the Lord may come to you by night and be hungry. You say, you know what? Let me try this brother's fruit. The hell is this? And spit it out, and then while you sleep and take all your understanding, and you wake up thinking that you just you an Ethiopian Jew now. You're an Ethiopian Jew. That's what you thought. You looked up research. Now you're an Ethiopian Jew. All right, and now you come from Ethiopia, and you are praising what's that man's name? Haile Selassie. Oh, yeah, now you praising Haile Selassie, man. Right, with two bullets behind your ear. Now you walking on the blocks trying to see where you can get a damn gun from. The Lord can do these things to you at any moment in time. That's why you just got to make sure you got that tree. You got to kill.
uh-huh. And what the brother said, just to line me back off for it, to go to book of Sirach, because a lot of people, so I'm saying they got the zeal when they're own brothers, but when they're by themselves, they're not bearing no fruits. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 1, verse 29. It say, be not an hypocrite in the sight of man, and take good heed what thou speakest. Right? That's plain. Verse 30, exalt not thy soul, lest thy fall and bring dishonor upon thy soul, and so the Most High discover thy secrets and cast thee down in the midst of the congregation, because thou camest not in the truth to the fear of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, but thy heart is full of deceit. So that's plain. It's basically saying the Most High is going to reveal your secret and cast you down in the midst of the congregation because you wasn't sincere from the get-go, right? When you're around brothers, you zealous, you telling them what you're doing, how much time you fasting, what you're doing for the nation, but ultimately just to be seen by man. You're not giving out arms unless it's being videoed on camera, right? Because now you're checking 2 days later, dang, I only got 80 views, right? And now you're getting vexed because a lot of people not seeing you helping other brothers. That's not sincere, and the Most High is going to cast you down in the midst of your congregation for the deceitness of your heart,
All
right? So you got to do this thing in truth and sincerity, because let's actually go back to Matthew chapter 23, because that's the words of Yahweh. That's the anointed Savior, King of Israel, Lords of Lords, Kings of Kings, right? This is Matthew chapter 23, right? Um, and let me get straight to the point, right? Verse 13, Matthew chapter 23, verse 13, it says, "But woe unto you, scribe and Pharisee, hypocrites, for ye shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for ye neither go in yourself, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in." So it's basically saying you're putting pressure on other brothers to do things that you're not willing to do yourself, right? Actually, verse 12. Right? It say, "And whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall be humble shall humble himself shall be exalted." So you can't let nobody glorify. It's nothing wrong with admiring and respecting a brother, but you're supposed to let other brothers exalt you, not you exalting yourself and think you're holier than thou and think you're mighty than any other brother. Because we know the first shall be last and the last shall be first. So we gotta always remember the meek shall inherit the earth,
Yeah.
right? And when you do these things, you gotta do it in truth and sincerity, so the Most High could basically make you flourish. You're gonna bring forth fruits in righteousness. So you know that the fruits basically appear, it's going to be prosperous. It's not going to get withered. It's not going to be here for a month or 2 months and then disappear and nobody's known of it no more. It's just going to, most side just going to keep adding to it, right? You got some?
I can bring something out too. Because, yeah, the Most High destroy you. I mean, let me go to Luke chapter 12 and 2. This is Luke 12 and 2. "For there is nothing, right, covered that shall not be revealed." Right? It says, "There's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known." So the Lord said, there's nothing covered that's not going to be revealed. I mean, you try to throw a bunch of blankets on top of something, the Lord's just going to snatch them blankets right off. The Lord's going to make it. Hey, what did David do? David committed adultery in the night. And guess what? His son committed adultery in the light, in the sun. The Lord said that thing was going to happen, right? And it says, "Neither hid that shall not be known. Therefore, whatsoever you have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light, and that which you have spoken in the ear and closet shall be proclaimed upon the housetops." The Lord will destroy you, man. He will cast you down in the midst of the congregation. The Lord, that's like the brother said. Let me go to the book of Job, chapter 12. It's the book of Job, chapter 12, and verse 14. "Behold, he breaketh down, and it cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening." Once the Lord breaks you down, there's no rebuilding it. There is no, "I'm going to build this thing back up. I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 28 to this man all day until he finally receives it." No, it's gone. It's over with. The Lord already took this man's understanding. The man's took this man's mind from him, man. He's finished, right? There's no opening once the Most High shuts you up. Once the Most High closes them steel doors, there is no opening them doors again, man. That man's mind is gone, man. His mind is not with you, right? And it says, "Behold, he withholdeth the waters and they dry up." The Most High can withhold your waters, man. The Most High can stop, the Most High can make a spiritual famine for you for 7 years straight, man. Literally 7 years. The Most High can withhold the waters from you. Look at all the accounts in the Old Testament, right? Look at all the accounts where the Most High withheld the waters for years. I mean, look at the time of Joseph, man. Hey, Joseph had wisdom, now he taught their senators wisdom, Psalm chapter 105, and the children of Israel had to come into Egypt because there was a famine, man. Look at the time of Ruth, man. Naomi, she traveled into the land of the Moabites because there was a famine in her land, man. Look at these times, man, because the Most High can do that to you on a spiritual level. Let me read it again. Verse 15, "Behold, he withholdeth the waters and they dry up. Also, he sendeth them out and they overturn the earth." So guess what? You will dry up, man. The Lord will make your roots to dry up and another brother roots to have a spring, man, flourishing. And there's nothing you can do about it. The Most High is skillful to destroy. Let me go to the book of Ezekiel 21. The Most High has 1,000 ways. The Most High has an infinite number of ways to kill you, destroy you, right? Bring you down to a whole nother level, man, that you didn't even think you. Hey, what Jake say, man? Whenever something, Jake always get jammed up. It's always in a way he never prepared for. It's always in a way you never thought of. Jake, you always try to prepare for ways to get around some situation, but it's always but you always fail in a way that you never thought that could happen. That's the Most High, right? Let me go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 21. Right, it's a book of Ezekiel chapter 21 and verse 31. And I will pour out my indignation upon thee. I will blow against thee in the fire of my wrath and deliver thee into the hand of the Brutish men and skillful to destroy. The Lord is very skillful to destroy. The Lord can destroy you like this. The Lord can destroy you like that. The Lord is a God of armies. He has a. You don't think the Lord got an armory up there? You don't think he got angels that's just specialized in certain ways of killing? The Lord can kill you with fire. The Lord can kill you with water. He can kill you with air. He can kill you by giving you too much knowledge. The Lord can kill you just by not even doing anything and letting you kill yourself. That's the Lord, man. Stop playing with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua when it comes to this truth, right? And it says, "Thou shalt be fuel to the fire." The Lord said, "You will be fuel to the fire." We just read in Matthew 7:21. If you're not bringing forth fruit, you're gonna be hewn down and cast into the fire, man. You're gonna be fueled. Imagine being fuel to the fire. Like you're wood, right? And it says, thy blood shall be in the midst of the land. Thou shalt be no more remembered, for I, the Lord, have spoken it. Your people not even remember you no more. People, man, that brother used to be mighty. That brother used to, what was his name? You know his name? Anyway, let's move on. Right? That's literally what anyway, they're gonna have that anyway. Let's move on, spirit. Right? They're gonna talk about you for about 3 seconds. Your name not gonna be remembered. Right? Was it Captain? Let's move on. Right? That's literally what they're gonna do. Let's move on, man. Because your name not gonna be remembered if you're not bringing forth this fruit, man. If you're not, if you're not growing in this thing, the Lord said, as a tree, you have to abound, you have to grow, man. But if you're not, the Lord is gonna kill you. Let me go get one more. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon 4:4. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, and verse number 4. For they flourish in branches for a time. So you may flourish in branches for a time. You may, be in this thing for about 2-3 years, maybe 5-6 years. Right? The brother Nakwam did a video. There was a man that was in the truth for 8 years, man, and now he denounced the name of the Lord. 8 years. 8 years, man. Right? So you may be flourishing in branches for a time, doing breakdowns, videos, whatever. Right, but what? Yet standing not fast, they shall be shaken with the wind. What is that wind? That east wind. When we read in the scriptures, that east wind, Ezekiel chapter 17, Ezekiel chapter 19, Job, man, that east wind represents destruction, man. So, hey, or adversity. So as a tree, when you get hit with that wind, and you're not like a palm tree, because David said, I'm like a palm tree. Palm trees sway back and forth. But if you're a tree that's not like a palm tree, you get hit with that wind, you get hit with that adversity, you get uprooted in the faith, then guess what? And through the force of winds, they shall be rooted out. You're going to be rooted out this thing. If you get hit with that adversity, if you stand in yet not fast, man, and you don't know how to adapt to that adversity, the Lord said you're going to be rooted out. The Lord sends adversity. All of these things come from the Lord. Let me get Sirach 11:11 real quick. This is Sirach chapter 11 and verse 11. There is one that, Shlakia, verse 14, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. So the Lord said adversity comes from him as well as prosperity, life and death, man. Riches and poverty. Poverty can be adversity for some people. Some people may have riches and they don't even want it no more, man, because it's consuming their life. Right? Guess what? These things come from Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So let's say adversity hits you and you get rooted up, man. Guess what? You're gonna be out this thing. The Lord's going to test you. You think the Lord's going to bring you to the truth and not test you with adversity? Satan is the tempter, man. His whole job is to give you adversity. Read the book of Job, right? And read First and Second Corinthians. Read Acts, man. What those men went out there and what they were battling, right? Let me read on. Wisdom of Solomon 4:5. The unperfect branches shall be broken off, and their fruit unprofitable, not ripe to eat, yea, meat for nothing. The Lord called you good for nothing, man. Imagine the Lord come eating your fruit and spit it out and say, you good for nothing. He throws the apple at the tree. The Lord threw the apple at you, man. He threw the damn damn fruit. And he takes another apple and he's good for nothing, man. And then all the angels start throwing apples at you, man. And then they say, and the angel of a fire, he fires himself up, and then he just comes towards you, walking, burning up the grass every time he walks towards you. And next thing you know, you just burn up in the damn air, and all the trees are like this watching you. And the Lord comes to another tree, says, "I like this tree." Right? This tree, you know what? He's not like this other tree. Right? This
Right.
tree, he's gonna be in this thing for generations. Matter of fact, you're gonna be the 144,000. That's what. Hey, guess what? These things can happen to you. These things happen on the spiritual level every day, man. The people are withering every day. The Lord is throwing apples at trees every damn day, man. Right? Guess what? Because their fruit are unprofitable, yea, good for nothing. You gotta get
That's right. And the brother mentioned somebody that's been in the truth for 8 years. Like it's not like they don't know what the promises are. They don't know the Father. They don't know the Son. They know these things, but guess what? They lost patience, right? That's when you go to the book of Second Peter chapter 3, right, verse 4. It reads, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. So a lot of people is saying, listen, before you guys talking about repent, the end is near. People been saying that thousands of years, hundreds of years before y'all saying it, and we still here. So like, what's the difference now, right? Verse 5. For this they willingly are ignorant of, that by the words of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with the water and perish. So that's basically going to their Noah. Noah was out there. It wasn't out there for a week, for a month. It was out there for years, up in the years, up in the years, telling the people that the flood was going to be going to come and destroy the world. But people was confounded because they never saw rain. They never saw a flood before, so they was thinking he was a madman. But when it came and it happened, it was too late. That's why when you read Matthew chapter 24, 37 on down, it say just like in the days of Noah, people gonna be eating, drinking, and then all of a sudden destruction, right? And those people that lose patience and rebellious, when they go to the book of Sirach, to add to these different type of plagues the Most High created for these type of people. This is Sirach chapter 40, right? And verse 9, I start at verse 9, it says, death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and sword. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sake came the flood. So that's plain. So these are the people that's rebellious. That's has a reprobate mindset, thinking that it's all fairy tale. This is not true. The most you could believe in the most how you want. You could no. You got to go according to the scriptures. All of this thing is written for our learning. This is straight destruction that's going to come up on the earth. We live in the end times. Yahweh Shah already prophesied all of these things, even before Yahweh Shah the prophets. And Yahweh Shah basically, as it was, Yahweh Shah always said it was written, as it was written, because it was quoting one of the prophets, especially Isaiah, right? But these things are written for us to hear and change our ways. But a lot of people we know is stiff necked, rebellious, and we're not going to want to continue on the narrow path of righteousness and bring forth these fruits, and then we're going to get destroyed, right? I'm gonna get another precept, right?
it.
Because this thing goes into ultimately to save our soul, and how to save our soul, we got to bring forth fruits, right? This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 4. It says, for into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that's subject unto sin. For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. So that's plain. Like wisdom is going to flee deceit, right? The Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit. Because you can't doubt yourself. It's like, oh, I'm in this truth. I'm not today. I'm reading tomorrow. I'm not. You can't be lukewarm in this thing because Yahweh Shai said it's going to damn near vomit you out of his mouth, right? You can't be lukewarm because it's better for you not able to be in this thing, right? Obviously, we live in the world where we're subject to corruption and unrighteousness, but you can't you can't be confounded to these things, right? Because the Most High already gave us the solution, the word, the living water, right? The living water will bring branches, branches bring fruit, and then you basically flourish, and then you spread, right? You got some?
I was going to jump back to Matthew 21, finish that off. Con. It's Matthew chapter 21. Start of verse 21. Yahushua answered and said unto them, verily I say unto you, if you have faith and doubt not, you shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also if you shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, it shall be done, right? Because also at the end of the day, it just goes back to faith, having faith in the Lord, right? In all things whatsoever you shall ask in prayer, believing you shall receive, right? Because you don't want to be faint-hearted when you pray. Let's go to James real quick, chapter 1. But this always goes back to just having faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And if you have faith, you're going to bear fruit. If you have faith, you're going to understand these words and you're going to do what is commanded of you. This is James chapter 1 and verse 8. And it says, so I'm sorry, verse 6, but let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. So if you're not asking the Lord in faith, if you don't have any faith and you're trying to ask the Lord for something, man, so you're not receiving nothing from our God, man. Right? And it says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So at the end of the day, man, this goes back to just having faith in the Lord, having faith in Yahweh Shema Shah, growing in knowledge, wisdom, aptitude, and all things, man, abounding. Let me get one more precept. This is my closing precept. I'll pass. Right, this is First Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So your labor is not in vain in the Yahweh Shem Yahshua, right? Your labor is not in vain. You always want to be always abounding in the work of the Most High, right? And that's the goal at the end of the day. Take that with you today, tomorrow, every single day. You want to get at least 1% better. Get 1% better, man. By the end of the year, hey, you'll be 360% better, man. Right? And you're not gonna be cut down because your fruit, hey, is not gonna be good for nothing, man. All right, you got it.
Uh-huh. And I'll bring out this precept in the last book of the Bible, Revelation, chapter 22, verse 11. It say, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. Right? And he that is holy, let him be holy still. So that's plain. So if you're bringing fruits, you got to keep bringing them fruits. Don't let people bring doubts while you're spreading the kingdom of the Most High, right? If a brother hates you because of the Most High, that's actually a blessing in the eyes of the Most High, right? Because the first shall be last and the last shall be first, right? So just keep doing the righteous acts still, keep praying still, keep reading still, keep doing the righteousness, keep being holy still. It said let let me read this again. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still.
That's
So
right.
those people that's unjust, they don't have no faith. They don't care about the Most High. Let them just be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. Those people that's fornicating, thinking it's cool, having laying down with different women, talking about I got 100 bodies on my record. But we don't care about those things. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. So that's what we focusing on. He that is righteous, let him be righteous still. So keep bringing these righteous works, keep planting these fruits, and the most High ultimately get the increase.
Con. And Lord, when he was edified, man, you took some knowledge from this today, right? You were edified, right? Took some good notes, man. We like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, right? And like I said, hey, keep enduring, keep increasing this thing. And we like to bid a mighty strong shalom.
Shalom, Israel.